Good afternoon from New York City, or let me just say New York, to all around the world. Welcome to TLP Sports Club. You are now watching TLP Live. I am your host, and I go by the name of Harry B. And the B means billion. Thank you for joining me tonight. We are live, and we have a hot topic that we want to discuss tonight. On the menu, we have, will Coach Prime ever win a national championship with the Colorado Buffaloes? Also, can money buy you a championship? We're going to discuss that. We're going to get into the differences, the nuances, and everything else. But you know how we do here. Before we do,
BWB bandwagon buffs.
That's right. It's your man's Harry Billion. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. So thank you so much for joining me. And yes, please hit that subscribe button, guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel. If you are watching this in the live or you're watching this after or post live, I welcome you. I would say please hit that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you will help the algorithm. If you hit the like button, you will help the algorithm to do that thing that it does, and it will share the video to other people who are interested in contents like this. But yeah, let's talk about it. First, we want to talk about, let's take the first topic. Let's talk about, can money buy you a championship? Once again, this show was inspired or is inspired by my guys behind the scene, my two producers, DC Carson Music and Phil So Real. Salute to them. And I want to give a special shout out to my guy from Dallas is in the building, Ty Smith, for sending me some hot topics to talk about as well. I think I might just throw that also. I might throw that in there as well. Let's go ahead and throw that in there as well. What did Ty Smith send? You know what? Let me lead the show with that. Why not? Ty Smith said, I should look into the prime equity clause that Shador has in his contract. Players come out of college. He said, think about this, Harry B. Billion, Mr. I got so much money, I call myself Mr. Billion. He didn't say that. He said, think about this. Players come out of college, go into the NFL with an NIL valuation of $5 million plus, gets picked in the 4th or 5th round. This means they will make less money than in college. But if you have an equity clause, this means you can negotiate with the NFL. I'm not sure. It sounds like we talked about this equity clause before, but I'm not. I was not aware of the equity clause being that you can negotiate with the NFL. Don't they have like specific amounts that they allocate for rookies? What in the world is the equity clause? If anybody out there know what this equity clause is about, let me know what this equity clause is about. Unless my guy Tim is out there somewhere, maybe, hustling, going around, doing whatever he does, and he's going to be able to come on here tonight and help me understand what this equity clause is. Because it sounds interesting. You can negotiate what premise or what exactly are you negotiating? I don't know. Okay, so I'm kicking that off, and we'll put that on the shelf until we get somebody who understands what the equity clause is all about. They can come on here and they can help me to understand what the equity clause is. So let's move on to our main topic, which is we'll keep the Coach Prime thing last, because you know how it is around here with TLP Sports Club. The second you get into a Coach Prime conversation, that dominates the conversation, and you can't get to nothing else, okay? Because it then goes into all the extra extraterrestrial stuff that it goes into, and you can't never get a conversation off into anything else. So I'm specifically leaving the Coach Prime thing for last. And if we don't get to it because the conversation goes into different areas, then I'm happy with that just as well. All right. But if Coach Prime is going to win a national championship with Colorado, because if we come to an agreement and say that money can buy you a chip and Coach Prime has no money, then we can just answer that question and be done with the whole Coach Prime thing. There'll be a no. It'll be a no. He ain't got no money. Colorado ain't got enough money to buy a chip. Okay? So that means he's going to have to coach his way through. So, but we'll get into those. We'll get into that and we'll get into the details. But right now, let's just talk about, can money buy you a chip? There are other things that obviously things that we have to go, that goes into this entire thing, right? So let's break it all the way down. And let me say hello to my first guest in the chat, Evelyn Underwood. Ask Nick Saban, who was Alabama Roll Tide coach, my hometown. So, all right, Evelyn, you starting things off, okay? She said, ask Nick Saban, okay? So it's not that easy, because here it goes. What money does is, maybe it is not easy, because as soon as I started thinking about the different elements of this, I'm like, wait a minute. The money is the underlying thing here. Okay, so here it goes. Money gets you the players, the talent, right? Because now we're in a new era. I can't even use the new era because back then, money was still running things. But let's just for the sake of argument, okay? Well, I don't feel like I'm talking to myself and I'm battling in my own head, like I'm having a conversation with a panel member. What is going on right now? Okay. Come on, Harry. Okay. So money will get you the talent. Money can afford for you to be able to hire good coaches. Money is going to be able to give you the opportunity. Well, money is going to give you the facilities that you need, right? So here is where it gets a little murky. Okay. I remember Dan Snyder. The only thing, when you start saying money can buy you a chip, I have PTSD with that, because I am a Washington Redskins / Commanders fan, and out of respect for the I guess the Native Americans, and they had to change that name, I'm just gonna not say Washington Redskins no more. But it's just hard for me to say Commanders, because I'm not a fan of the Washington Commanders. I was a fan of the Washington Redskins. So it's a little hard for me, if you can understand that. Like 1989, that's when I started, when I came to this country. So the Washington Commanders, right? And their owner, he threw out a whole lot of money and got a whole lot of players. The only thing I think about is like, oh, where do you play? Even Deion Sanders play for them, right? The only thing I think about is was it money well spent? Because now you talk about some of the players were not in their prime, pun intended. So it's I don't know, but these are the elements. Money's going to get you the talent. Money's going to be able to, you're going to be able to afford the talent on the coaching side, like a good offensive coordinator, a good defensive coordinator, right? And then their staff that comes with them, because those guys should have their own built-in staff that they are used to working with them, and they should be able to come together as a package, unless you do things a little unorthodox in your prime, or you are hired as a coach and you are dropped into a system and they say, okay, now do what you do. And we don't mess anything else up, because these are our people. Just do what you do. Go coach. It's kind of weird, okay, if you're asking for a chip. So the topic, remember, is Can money buy you a chip? So now you got all of these elements, you bring them together. Does that win you a chip? We got Sabrina Blankenship. Sabrina, what up with you? Hope all is well. John Doe's in there. John Doe's also in here. Man, John Doe is a famous person. Every time they can't find somebody, they always call him John Doe. So here's John Doe right here. Y'all favorite QB looking chunky while working out with high school kids. Who's our favorite QB? Shador? Who we talking about? John Doe, we finally found you. Let me know who you talking about. Are we talking about Shador? Is he eating donuts? I don't know about that. But anyway. See you, Auntie Marilyn. Hello in the chat. Oh, Sabrina says Shador Sanders. Shador's looking chunky while he's working out with high school kids. Is there footage out there? I'm not aware of that. That's not something I'm aware of. I didn't see the footage. Usually if I see Shador footage, I will have a handle on it. I thought my eyes and ears was pretty close to the ground, but I haven't seen Shador looking chunky playing with high school kids. So if y'all see the footage, somebody put me on game, okay? You feel me? Send me a link, do something. You feel me? Anyways, I forgot to let you guys know that this is a call-in show. You can call in. The information is right there on your screen. Join TLP Live at gmail.com. The email again is jointlplive@gmail.com. My Cash App is also right there. If you are feeling generous, you're like, Harry B, I know you work hard on these videos and going live and whatnot, and this is a live channel. I enjoy the content. My Cash App is $TLP Sports Club. All right, Tango Larry Peter. That's in case my accent is getting in the way and you're hearing TLP. What else can you hear? TLP. Maybe you can hear something different. I don't know. It does happen, okay? I used to work on the phone, something, during COVID, and, man, it was a mess, bro. I'm telling you, people used to hear all kinds of weird things. You're like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying this. So, Tango Larry Peter Sports Club, okay? That's $ Tango Larry Peter Sports Club. TLP Sports Club. So thank you so much. But yeah, email me if you want to come on to the show and you want to discuss this. Can money buy you a chip? So now, with all of those elements out there, let me see what the chat is saying. Yes, it's Ohio school. There go Todd Smith. Todd Smith, I want to let you know I led with your hot topic about your equity clause. Mr. Todd Smith, if you're busy, I understand, but you gotta get me at least 10 minutes and come on here and talk about this equity clause, or at least type something in the chat and help us understand what this equity clause that you're saying is in Shador's contract, and which contract are we talking about? Because what, you got a contract like before your NFL contract? Because then, like, don't you sign the NFL contract after you get there? How can you have a contract before you even get to the NFL that you're negotiating an equity clause? Like, look, Todd Smith, you got to come in the building. You got to help me out, please. I led with that, so now we got to talk about it. But we're still talking about, can money buy you a chip? So when you have all of the talent and you have good coaching, does that equal to a chip? Right? Because we look at the teams that were in the playoffs. All of those teams, I would say, had money. They had good coaches, good coordinators. Everybody can win it, right? So what are the elements, or what's the right recipe to be able to get to the chip? How do you get to a championship? If you are a college football team in this here NIL deal, and it's like, okay, I feel like, okay, listen, this is what I feel like. You can have good talent, good coaching, but it's like something happens where your team every year, you appear somewhere, you appear in the playoffs, or you're right there, and people are talking about you, but then you come away with nothing. Um, Anybody know a guy named Dan Landing? Is it Landing or Landing? I think it's Landing. I'm just going to call him Landing because he won't be landing anywhere. All right. So, hey, if y'all find that Shador clip, y'all please let me know. I really want to see that Shador clip. Shador's looking chunky while he's playing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it because I don't know it. So if y'all send me the clip, somebody put the link over there, the clip's link. I'll copy and paste it, and then we'll watch it together, and we'll evaluate it, and we'll do a reaction to it. So if y'all find the clip, put it up there. Let me know. And I know it's about 7:00. So if you are in America and not on the other side of the pond, you're either finishing dinner because America either starts dinner at 6. Unless you are a food prep person, then you're doing like you're starting dinner around 6-ish because you just got home from work because we're 9-to-5ers. So you get home right around 6. You start putting, maybe you prepped it. You put it in the oven, you go and you start answering like emails or whatever while the oven is going. And then, you freshen up, do whatever you got to do. Then when it's done, you eat. So right around this time, y'all should be eating or y'all should be finishing cooking so y'all can get ready to eat. I don't know how y'all do it, but y'all let me know. So, you either got your phone and do me a favor. If you're cooking and you got your phone on the counter and you're just listening to me, can you stop real quick and just say, Harry, that's me? Let me know. I want to know. I find it interesting because I feel like American life is just so like coordinated. Everything is coordinated in America. I do have some people I have people all around the world, people in like Brazil, people in South Africa, Australia, the Philippines be watching. But I want to know if you're in America right now, okay? If you're watching in America, tell me how you're watching. I want to know. You're like, yo, if you're still driving, then I guess you can't really say anything, but don't put it down. Don't pull over and tell me whatever, or don't crash, okay? Just don't crash. But if I'm helping you to get home, then I hope you get home safely. But yeah, let me know, like, are you watching me on the fridge? That one is interesting. Like somebody watching you, like you got this TV on your fridge. That is so cool. Y'all got money. All right. If your fridge got a TV, you got money. Stop playing with me. Okay. My fridge don't have a TV. Like my ice machine is barely working. Okay. I'm trying to get to the money. I'm trying to get my first million, like real soon. I've been waiting too long. I'm tired of waiting. I'm trying to get my first million. But let's get back to this thing here. So y'all let me know. Put it in the chat how you're watching. I really want to know. I want to know for this part of the show. I want to know how y'all are watching me. Because y'all are eating dinner, finishing dinner, cooking dinner, doing something. Let me know. All right. So let's say all of the teams that were in the playoffs, most of them are going to come back. Right? It's not too many teams. I know the Alabama was not in it, you know what I'm saying? Like you get some of your bigger name teams that did not make it, right? But have no like we're working on some content to bring later, but I'm calling this year the year of the Blue Bloods because I feel like we've had time where we've seen some like, how NIL has shaped a lot of these colleges, a lot of these college teams, and it seems like it's equal. But I feel like this year you're gonna feel the wrath of the Blue Bloods. This is like football prophecy, I guess. Hopefully, I'm not trying to football prophecy, something like that. I feel like the Blue Bloods are gonna stand up this year, and it's gonna look ugly. Because you should be used if you're a college football fan, like I'm talking about a pure college football fan, and you've been watching college football for years, and you remember the dominance, like the blue blood dominance, where it was like boring for you to watch. We haven't really seen that. I mean, the last, obviously, if you saw TCU in Georgia, not like that. I'm talking about like, well, maybe something like that, right? But like the regular seasons where you just see games and it just looks like it's lopsided, something like that. I feel like that's going to come back a little bit this year. But yeah, you got the Georgias, you got the Alabamas, you got the LSUs, the Ohio States, the Penn States, and all of the Notre Dames, and all of these teams that are pretty heavy, and you'll see them repeat over and over again. If all of them are on the same level, then can money buy you a chip? Can money buy you a chip? If they all have money, somebody's got to win. Can money buy you a chip? And then what? How can you put it all together? So some of the outside or the outside discussions that we were having is, so if you have good coaching, like elite coaching, and then you have coordinators, your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator, then you fall into this other bracket of a higher level of probability of you winning a chip. Because college football is getting to a place where money is like now here and everybody is spending it. But if everybody has money, then where do we find the separations in college football? Where's going to be the separation? And keep in mind, I'm thinking about Prime in the back of my head, and I'm like, okay, how does Prime fit into this entire equation? Because if you look at teams like Notre Dame, would you say that Notre Dame was one of those like really highly like stacked teams where when it comes to money, like they had a war chest that was much more than a whole lot of teams? I am not 1,000% sure. Give me a second, guys. Let me make sure. All right. I got you, my man. I'm bringing you on. Let me make sure I'm doing some producing here while I'm talking. All right, so I got a video from Tim. Let's see if this video explains it. All right, so Tim just sent me a video that maybe explains this whole prime equity clause or clause that we're talking about. So once we finish with this little topic right here, then we'll get into that. So we'll see. We'll pull up that video in a little bit and we'll wait. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. All right, Wild Dog. My guy Wild Dog is going to pull up real soon so that he can join the conversation, because I want to know. We're in a very interesting time period right now for college football. Very interesting, because boosters and people with money that were associated with these different universities, they've had to hide their hands for so long. Now that they don't have to hide their hands, you know what I'm saying? There's money everywhere. One day you hear you got your favorite player, you're celebrating, and then the next thing you know, they're leaving, right? I mean, if you remember Nico Maliava, he wanted more money, right? So now he's jetted out of town. So he's in LA. So now it's like, okay, so all of these teams that are getting money, all of these teams that are buying these players, it doesn't always equal to either a player of birth, or it does not equal to a national chip. Then where are we going with this? Where exactly does this put us in I would say several years from now, when almost the playing field, when people just start spending, I mean, the money is out of control. Where does that put us? And then some would term the Ohio State being the first NIL championship team or championship organization. But with them and how their season went, would you say that the money is what got them that chip? Or was this something that they've been grooming for so long that they finally got the chip? Has Ohio State always have this thing been going on for a while and then Ohio State finally put it together? Or was it the money that actually got them the chip? That's a question that I need to understand, because what comes first is one of those things where you're like, what comes first? The money or the organization, the program, the building, the development, and everything else? Or has that always, does that work in conjunction with the money? Because nowadays, there is no program loyalty. The days of you bring in a freshman, he grows up in the program, might have to get behind a junior or a senior and grow up in the program, and then by the time they become a sophomore or a junior, you'll see them, actually come up and start playing. That's how programs were built back in the day. But nowadays, a guy like Cam Ward will go to Miami for 1 year, do what he does, and then he's out of here going to the NFL. So there is no loyalty anymore. That dynamic is all over. So guys now can just, skippity hop to any program they want to, and they can be successful. You don't need that much time to learn the playbook anymore, apparently. You don't need that much time. Dudes can leave like the transfer portal. There's several windows. There are several windows of this transfer portal, so you can be transferring while football is happening, and you can go to a new. I would see how it works for, let's just say, defensive players, but it's the offense that always throws me. It is the offense that always throws me, because I'm like, bruh, take the playbook, look at the playbook, and you're like, all of these plays, you can learn all of these plays and still be able to perform at the highest level without being in your mind, without thinking. That's the part that throws me. So let's go back to the money. You get the most elite players. You got the OCs and you got the DCs. If you're Oregon, which I don't really like much, right? Unspoken Sports Podcast, what's up with you? Hope all is well. So, and you're welcome. He said, thanks for going live today. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're welcome. So now you're in a situation where you got all the pieces in place. But if you're somebody like if you're Dan Lanning, you can't seem to win it. What exactly is Dan Lanning missing? What is he missing? I want to understand it. Right? What is Notre Dame missing? What is the piece that they're missing? This is a question that it always comes up, and I'm like, I look at these teams and I'm like, man, so it seems like these teams have what is Texas missing? These are good questions that are popping in my head right now. And I'm like, okay, what exactly is Texas missing? Because you got everything you need. Everything is right there. So what are they missing? What are these teams that are stacked? What are they missing? If you got several teams that are stacked, right? Your Penn States, your Ohio States are stacked. You got your Notre Dames, your Oregon. These are stacked teams. These are teams that have good offensive lines. They have good defensive lines. They have good OCs, good DCs, good head coach. Where do you take it from there? And then, again, like I told y'all, I got prom in the back of my, I got prom in my head, and I'm thinking like, okay, we're gonna get the prom, but I keep thinking, if we're discussing these things, and these are the things that makes a winning program eventually get to the chip, then where does that leave Prime? Where does that place Prime in this equation? Because I don't know any Big 12 team that is going to come out and challenge for the playoffs. I don't see it. It's like the Big 12 is that league that is that conference that is just gonna come short every year, just short every year. We thank God we had State, right? Thank God Scatterboo did what he did. But without that, it's like you look around and you're like, okay, who in the Big 12 that you know? I think I look at Devin Neal. I mean, we had so many good running backs. This year we got good quarterbacks. Now, can they put them all together? Because we had good quarterbacks last year too. Can we have, what is it going to take for these other conferences or these outside, not so big conferences? What is it going to take for them all to come to put it all together to get into that club, that coveted club of the CFP, college football playoffs? What is it going to take? Take your time, Wild Dog. Take your time. Because right now I'm just loading up with questions because this thing is going to take some. It's going to take some questions to hash this all out. Because you got your teams there are several teams that you know are loaded. You got several teams that are loaded. Every year they're going to come to the table. They're going to have all the pieces in place, right? There's one that let's take the Hoosiers, for example, right? Like Siggy's my guy now. That's my new team. I had Colorado, where, you know what I'm saying, I mean, I had like A&T, but A&T's not, you can't, HBCUs don't really play in this arena, so it's a little hard to put them in this arena. But let's just say I got Bowie State, I got A&T, and those are HBCUs. We're going to leave them over there just respectfully. But now I got the Hoosiers. I got Siggy. Siggy's cocky. Siggy reminds me of somebody from New Jersey, New York, who got that attitude like, yo, Google me. You feel me? Like, yo, you remember my name. That's what this guy told me one time when I came. The first thing I came to New York, this dude introduced himself to me, and he was like, yo, son, my name is X, Y, and Z. Yo, son, remember the name. I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean remember the name? What is this? Where am I? Right? He said, remember the name. Like, he was so swaggy P. I was like, remember the name. That thing never left me. 2006, I came to New York. Okay? I forgot what I was doing. Was it in the film industry or something? I was doing something. Yo, son is like, yo, he gave me this dap. And, you know, if you are in New York, they'll give you this dap, and then the middle finger kind of slides, and then when they're done, they're like, yo, son, remember the name. And I'll tell you another story. Story time. This is where it got weird for me. The New York finger thingy. if you live in New York, you know what I'm talking about. When New Yorkers shake your hands, they do this finger thingy, okay? It got weird for me. Rick Gonzalez. I was working on a film with Rick Gonzalez. Okay. So I had to go pick him up because, you know, he's a star or whatever. I'm not gonna say he's a big star, but Rick Gonzalez, if you know who that is, he's a star. He was the star of the film. And I had to go pick him up. We had a meeting in Manhattan. I pull up, I meet son, he give me the dap, and this is my first time getting the finger thingy. Give me a second, right? Let me get this story out, and then we'll continue. But yeah, so, you know, son's looking fresh. He's he's either from the Bronx or he's from Harlem somewhere. Originally, I'm talking now. He's in Hollywood, whatever, right? So he daps me. I'm like, yo, you Rick? He's like, yeah, I'm Rick. My first time, I didn't know he's a star, so I'm like, you Rick, right? And then he does the finger thinking. I'm like, what is this? It felt weird. Like, I was like, what is this? I didn't know how to react to the finger thingy. Dap. But I got used to it. You know, when you get somewhere new, like they have their own little culture and the things that they do. So he did the finger thingy, and I was like, yo, what the heck is that finger thingy? Just like son saying, hey, yo, my name is da 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 da. Remember the name. I took it. Okay, I took it. So now, remember the name. It's that swaggy thing about New Yorkers. Remember the name. We cocky, okay? Because we feel like we can do anything in New York. I came from Maryland. I was a little timid. I had a little humpback. If you don't know Maryland people walk with a low, and we call them Maryland, okay? Maryland people walk with a low humpback. I don't know what that's about, but I came with that humpback because we walk kind of slow and like, you know what I'm saying? We do that humpback thing. I got rid of the humpback. I stood up straight and I started saying, remember my name. My name is Harry B. Remember the name. Now I'm cocky too, just like a New Yorker. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to get back to this football thing for a second, but give me a second, okay? Blue Moon is ready for this Coach Prime thing. Came in straight shooting with Coach Prime is going to win a chip. Oh, Lord. We got one. Blue Moon is like, we got one in here. Coach Prime said, Todd Smith said, Coach Prime said he will pay his sons a visit at their camps. Oh, boy. Stay away, Coach Prime. Drop the email link. Let me put it back up for Sabrina. Sabrina's feeling greasy right now. Sabrina wants to come up and debate. Let's go. Join TLP Live at gmail.com. Join TLP Live at gmail.com. I'm going to put the email in there. Join. Let me see how I can spell join. Oh, it's on the screen. Sorry. Join TLP Live at gmail.com. Y'all shoot me an email. Let's come over here and talk. If you're a New Yorker, you know about that finger handshaky thingy. Let's tell some stories while I'm on here. Oh, and I gotta be up out of here by 8 o'clock. We gotta be done. Okay. These are like hot topic shows that I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to overcome my overthinking. All right. So if I'm helping anybody out there trying to help you to overcome your own overthinking, then hopefully I can help you. All right. Because I'm a sports show. I have a sports channel. Why am I overthinking? Oh, you got to wait till you get this real hot topic or this real thing got to be happening before you go live or go give the people something. I'm like, man, I can come on here. I can run my mouth just like everybody else. Because you click on the link and you go on there, you think they're about to give you some real dope information like TLPP dropping all the time. Like all my videos are packed full of like mad information with data fill shows. And I'm like, wait a minute. Can't I just get on here and just do some hot topics, run my mouth like everybody else? Yes, you can. So I'm going to tell you about, remember my name. All right. And I ain't going to hold you. Like, that's when I first heard that in Brooklyn. I was like, son kept talking about, I ain't going to hold you. And I'm like, this grown man is talking about holding me. And I was trying to sell his store some T-shirts. Because I used to design T-shirts and stuff like that. I was trying to sell his store some T-shirts, and son, I ain't gonna hold you, but I like this one right here. I ain't gonna hold you. And I'm like, if this guy is gay and it's gonna take him holding me to buy these T-shirts, I'm confused because I don't know. Maybe I'll just hold him a little bit to get the T-shirt sold. Does that make me gay? If I'm holding a grown man just to buy me a T-shirt, yeah, that's gay. I was like, anyway, I found out that the whole I ain't gonna hold you thing was just a saying, okay? I didn't have to hold him. Thank God. I was a little confused for a little bit when I first heard I ain't gonna hold you, okay? I never held him, but I was a little confused because I'm like, maybe I should hold him a little bit. Oh Lord. Let's get back to this football before I tell all my stories. I ain't gonna tell you the one about when you first come here, you don't speak no English, right? You don't speak the American English, because we do speak English in Liberia. And the kids tell you, hey, scoot over. And you're like, oh, Lord, I'm in trouble. What does that mean? Oh, Lord. When they tell you to scoot over and you start laughing because you have no idea what they're talking about. I ain't going to tell you that story. All right. Oh, okay. So Sabrina said, I have the clip of Shadul. Wants your email. Okay. So, yeah, you got the email right there. Let me go ahead and pin it for you. That is the email right there. All right. jointlplive@gmail.com. Let me see. Is Shador really looking chubby? Like, did he eat a lot and like he forgot? What is going on? I'm confused. Lord. How y'all get footage of Shador looking chubby? What is going on? Look, they got what was the date on this thing? Let me make sure. Let me see. They got to get back to not mini camp, but what's the name? Dang, July 25th. They got a lot of time to go. It's July 15th right now. July 25th is when they have their first practice. Lord, let them hurry up. Please let them hurry up. Kids getting arrested for domestic violence. People speeding tickets and stuff. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Please hurry up and get back to football. I don't want to hear the next story that comes up. But yeah, Sabrina, I appreciate it. jointlplive@gmail.com. That is the email. Send me that clip. RMJ said, so Todd Smith said he looks like he's putting on muscle in his arms. So is that what people are interpreting as chubby? Go ahead, Sabrina. Send that footage and let's live. Let's react to it live. Arm muscle and stuff looking chubby. How is arm muscle looking chubby? All right. Can money buy you a chip? RMJ said, can money buy you a chip? Ohio State and that $5 million offensive line says yes. So we got to go back to the elements, right? Because you got to keep in mind that Ohio State lost a few conference games, right? So was it the money? Because but if you think about it, there were a few teams that were just like Ohio State that had the money, they had all the players. How much of luck was in that? Because they weren't like they were not the best unbeatable team, right? So how much did the new system, the new college football 12-team system play, right? Because it's like the luck of the draw. When you take those dice and you roll it, now you got 12 teams. Because you can go around you feel me? Like back in the day when they used to be like, okay, the best play the worst, and then that's it, right? Like, so now you can kind of skirt over and you can actually get an easy path and win a chip. So is it possible that played a part? How much does the new college football system, how much did that play a part in it? Because I don't know that you can just pinpoint it to the money. That's why I'm adding all these other elements, because I'm like, look, if you ask the question, was it the money? Like off the top of your head, you're like, okay, well, Ohio State was the first NIL championship team, right? That's what at least the big media is saying. Ohio State was the first NIL champions. But now if you peel back the layers, Ohio State lost a couple of games, pivotal games. So how much did the new college football playoff system matter to that? And let me make sure I check the email, because we're going to be done soon. This is a hot topic. We got to get in and we got to get out. You feel me? We're not going to be here for long tonight. We're going to get in. We're going to get out because I want to leave a little bit of meat on the bone for tomorrow. If I get another hot topic, I'm just going to come on here and we're going to do hot topics every day. We're going to talk about something. Like, we're about to talk about Shador being fat. I don't know if he's fat or not. Okay. But yeah, man, I want to come in front of y'all. I want to give y'all some content, more consistently. So we're gonna have to deal with it through hot topic. And then when I get something big, I'll work on it like a news package. We'll come on here and we'll handle it like that. All right. So Toshman said Michigan will hand it to Ohio State this season with their $10 million QB. More of the elements. That part of the equation is the talent. Right? Because now you talk about the talent that's on other teams. You got to like put it in perspective. You got talent, then you have coaching. You marry all of those elements and all of the ingredients have to kind of meet. But now you got a new system that's in place. Where back in the day when you watched the college football, it was like, okay, 4 teams. This team is killing everybody, and you already know who's going to win it. It was much easier to tell. But now teams are ducking behind the system, and they're skirting their way around the system, and next thing you know, they're in the championship. And you're like, how in the world you got to the championship? And you lost 2 conference games. What are we talking about? Look at your schedule. You should not be there. I hate it here. Oh, God. You should not be. You did not earn it. If you give Ohio State one more game, do they win the Natty? If you give Ohio State one more round, do they win the Natty? Is that a fair question to ask? If you give them one more round, do they win the Natty? That's why I told you a while back that this thing is going to like either 20-something or 36. Was it 32 or 36? It's got to get there eventually. It has to. For it ought to make sense, it has to. Because there are teams that are sitting out, they're like, wait a minute. We feel like we could have won, or we could have beat that team. And we sitting out here, like, if you look at Alabama, they were like real salty. my two Alabama producers, Lord have mercy. Oh, it was a sad day for them boys. It was a sad day for them boys. But if you put some more of those, if you put Alabama in there, do they go farther? Right? Could you make an argument that if you put Alabama in the playoffs, that Alabama would have went far? But obviously, because you're like, oh well, you didn't have the strength of schedule, and your record did not show it, so we're not going to put you in. But you know that if Alabama gets in, they would have been a problem for a few teams. So we got to stretch this thing out. I don't know why we can't just make it like college football playoffs. I don't know why we can't do that. Why we can't just bracket it just so like if you're good, if you have the system, then don't be afraid. All right? Because Siggy, somebody like, the Hoosiers, when they I feel like they can get at you, and Siggy might show his New York attitude. Shador is a QB, so he still carries a bit of baby fat. Where's this Shador footage at? Y'all send me this. I'm still waiting for it. Join TRPlive@gmail.com. Let me make sure I'm on the right email. I am on the right email. You can send me the email, or just drop the link right there in the comments, and I'll copy and paste it somewhere, and then I'll get it. Let's make it easier. $10 million QB1 can get laid out too. Yeah, so you got the talent element, but other teams got talent, and I'm trying to tell you, the Hoosiers are going to be giant killers again. Okay? Like the Hoosiers are going to be David again. And this time around, I feel like Siggy's going to be ready for them for y'all. Because I feel like Siggy got exposed a little bit. I don't know if it was because he was out of his element. Was he too cocky? Did he not? Like, what exactly was Siggy missing? Was he missing? Like, yeah, Siggy was missing a quarterback. Like, when I watched the game, I'm looking like, what is really going on? The quarterback play was poor. If Siggy was to have, like, if we dig back into the talent category and look at Siggy, what he was missing was like an elite quarterback. Because I think that was, if I remember, when I was watching the game in my commentary, and I'm thinking like the quarterback is really, something is going on. But then if it's the quarterback, then I'm thinking like, wait, was it the quarterback or was I missing something? And was it maybe his O-line was not protecting him well enough? But some of those passes that he was making was not working. And his decisions was not working for me. So to pinpoint what really went wrong with Siggy and his Indiana Hoosiers, I feel like it was the quarterback play. If I was to dial it in, I would say what they were missing was quarterback play. So now, let's say Siggy brings back his O-line, his D-line, make it just a little bit better, right? And get a better quarterback, and he can coach. Siggy can coach. And then keep that New York attitude or that New York / New Jersey attitude. Yo, son, remember my name, son. Google my name, son. Stop playing with me. You say you may be in the wrong studio? Yo, you probably clicked on the wrong link. It's the last link that I sent you. You probably clicked on the link from yesterday. Click on the link that I just sent you. Wild Dog. I'm talking to Wild Dog, guys. I'm going to send it to you again. Make sure you click on the right. Make sure you click on the current link. I'm going to email you again. I'm going to say click on this one. All right, so the title of the email, Wild Dog, is called Current Link. And in the email, in the body, is going to say click on this one. It's all good. It's all good. New learning curve. It's all good. I understand. So just click on the one that says current link, and then look in the body of the email. It says click on this one, and then you'll show up here. All right. So Bandwagon Browns, my business partner. I don't know about Indiana. They got DT2, Khalil Benson, okay, on the line. And say, okay. He said, yeah, DT, don't touch two. Two got touched. They said, don't touch two, but two got touched. There's a few times. Todd Smith said, if you're spending millions on 5 stars versus millions on 2 and 3 stars players, I don't see no championship. Now, if you load your roster with top players at their positions, more than likely they will win, or likely they win. I'm not convinced that the talent element could do it alone, right? You're gonna have that, like you're gonna have to have all of the ingredients and all of the stars have to line up for you. So let's say you get the talent, you got good coaching, and the college football playoff committee puts you in a favorable route, because you can catch one of those waves, right? You catch one of those real sweet waves where you get like a group of 5 team. You catch a nice group of 5, and then maybe you get lucky and catch a Big 12. Yo, that'll be so sweet. If you catch a group of 5 and then a Big 12, oh man, the next thing is you right there at the natty. All right. So, all right, let me bring my guy Wild Dog on. Wild Dog, what up with you, man? Thank you for calling. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, blessings, Harry B. Thank you for having on, brother.
For sure.
Another blessed day to serve the kingdom of God.
Amen to that, brother. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. So there are so many nuances to talk about in this hot topic right here, because on the surface, when you say, "Can money buy you a natty?" It's, if you don't think about it for a second, it's so easy to say, "Well, yeah," because they've been doing it forever. But the Blue Bloods have all been doing it forever, but not all of them have won the natty. So
yeah.
It's not an easy answer. That's why I'm like, it's a little perplexing, because you're thinking about it like, you're like, of course. Well, look at all the teams with the five stars, the 4 stars, but then you start peeling back the onion or the layers, and you're like, well, no, there's several teams that have those 4 and 5 stars, and they got a lot of money. So if the answer is so easy, then how come they haven't won it? What is your thoughts on that?
When it comes to the money, it's like it helps you to be more competitive. But as far as buying a natty, buying a national championship in the FBS or even the FCS at any level,
it's not that easy, huh?
The game is far too complicated, and that's why traditionally we say it's a game of inches. So you could have the best coaches, the best players, and you could lose by 1 inch. And that's just facts when it comes to American football.
So Wild Dog, tell me your best. What is your best ingredient? Like, give me your best ingredient for the road to the natty. Because this is, I'll tell you what my ingredient is. The money, which will get you the talent, right? The coaching, elite coaching, right? Your head coach got to be on point, and then your supporting cast of coaches have to be on point. Your OCs, your DCs, and then whoever they bring along. And then, if you got all of those, that if you're mixing the pot in, you got to mix in the CFP having favor on you, giving you a group of 5, and then maybe you get lucky and catch a Big 12 game, a Big 12 conference team, right? That's my low ingredient, my low soup to get to it. What is yours? It could be the same, and you tell me, what is yours? What ingredients would you add?
Well, I'm old school, right? So I feel like, on one hand, like just in general, the big picture, this life is about relationships.
Okay. Right?
And so when it comes to like, smaller microorganisms, let's say like a football program, then those relationships help you cultivate a certain type of culture. And I believe that's the key. So
culture still matters?
If you develop the right culture, right? Because players have a choice. So if you have the right culture, you're going to be in the top 5 of any given top player as an option for them to attend, your school or be a part of your program. If you have the right culture, the best coaches are going to be drawn and giving consideration to your program as their next opportunity or them to develop on their way up. Right?
Okay. If you have now you're touting the old school line.
Yes. If you have the right culture,
can kill that in one thing.
But if you have the right culture, the money's gonna follow you. People that, the alumni, those associated in your area, in your region, money's gonna come. If you have the right culture, if you establish the right culture, the money's gonna follow. Okay. And then if you have the right culture, you do the right things, you establish yourself as a legitimate, program that does the right things, by its people and is true to the sport, then you're going to be in good favor with the media. Because even if they want something negative to say about you, they're really grasping at straws to do so. But it's actually better in their favor.
So hold up.
Say good things and recognize your program, a program that's been established with a very good culture.
What? So I'm trying to see what type of gumbo you're making here with these ingredients. Was that part of the culture building, the media thing? But what? So or what part is that media playing in the gumbo that you're making to get to the natty?
Well, with the relationship things, that's where if you establish the right culture,
okay,
then you could, more easily, the proper media is going to come to you, and you can recognize, who's going to support your program, and be a proper advocate for your program.
Yes, but how does that get you to the natty? Because you're making a nice little soup on getting to the natty.
Right.
So how does the media thing get you to the natty?
Right, because at this point, we have the council and they're human beings. So, and especially now you have so many teams in the playoff. The influence of the media is going to be a factor in your ratings, because we're dealing with the whole council and human beings. So with this many teams involved, it's definitely a factor. So your performance on the field, yes, but then your draw in the media, your draw among the fan base is going to have influence on the council, who are human beings. Especially when you get outside the top 4, top 5, you start getting, it's like, well, this over this or that over this. And it's like, well, people complain about Alabama, but Alabama sells. That's money. Don't be stupid. It's sports entertainment. So, so
right.
if we're drawing straws between, this team may be a little bit better than Alabama, but Alabama is going to mean 5 million more TV ratings and, and sponsorship.
But they kept Bama out the playoffs last year. So
yeah, but I'm just trying to give you an example. I'm just trying to give you an example.
So okay,
because parity has arrived. I told you Harry Parity was coming. And I should have chose some other team. I should have just said Ohio State rather than a SEC team, because I feel like the SEC is slowly being killed off.
Don't say that too loud, because
I'm not scared.
Yeah, there's a lot of SEC people around, and
because football comes in eras, and there's been a time where the SEC is running thing and they have their era, but it's not necessarily going to always be true, always hold true, and all these changes and we already seen a shift. We've already seen a shift.
You're trying to debunk my theory or my little prophecy of this is the year of the return of the Blue Bloods, because I feel like there's going to be a Blue Bloods dominance this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, people consider the Big Ten Blue Bloods too. They're just not the SEC.
Well, that's a good point. I'm glad
Michigan
you said
is a blue blood. Notre Dame is a blue blood. They've been, again, we're talking about cultures. You talk about, especially Notre Dame is a really good example of they won anything, when have they done anything, and why are they still so popular? Because they've established their culture and hold on to their culture so long, so well. Even when they have a little blip, it's like, why would you even report that it's Notre Dame?
Here's a little pushback.
News is negative, but it's Notre Dame. It's like, well, I shouldn't even bother.
So, Wild Dog, here's a little pushback on your culture theory. Does Cam Ward? Would you say that Cam Ward will be remembered at Miami? As far as football, if you're an old school guy, right?
Yeah.
Will Cam Ward be in the conversation of one of the Miami greats?
But that's the thing about establishing culture. He doesn't have to be. There's so many great Miami coaches and players that even if he is recognized, he's just one of Miami can give you a top 100.
No, but the reason why I say that is because I'm pushing back on your culture.
I understand, but he doesn't have to be, because Miami's culture has been established for so long, 70s, 80s, 90s, that he doesn't have to be. They don't need Cam Ward to boost their legacy. They don't.
Okay, I'm trying to understand, because now we have a new wave in college football called the NIL and the transfer portal, right?
Yeah.
So if you're saying that culture is going to help you to bring in players and all of and whatnot, you can replace culture with the dollar. You feel me?
Yeah, but
because now kids are going anywhere. Like a kid may have committed in December, but then when it comes a few months down the road, next you know, Cormani McLean and all and everybody else, money plays a role in that. So now, how can you say, even though you're an old school guy, and I understand why you're saying culture, because old school guys, they always they tout the lines of their old school values, and y'all don't want to let them go. But I'm trying to let you know that this culture thing is getting a little murky, because you no longer have the culture player. Like, what player do you know is really cultured at their team at this time?
But I'm not a stick in the mud either. But then my caveat is that we're coming to the point, it's 2025, and of course with Colorado, you say, well, it's easy to say that with Colorado because of Coach Prime's sons, but more and more we're seeing pedigree, Harry B. More and more we're seeing the children of athletes, mother and or father, who are coming up, because one, they have the not so much even the genetics, but they have the resources, the motivation, the culture within their own family, right? To be involved in sports, to be athletic, to have a certain degree of work ethic in order to get it done, to make it to the big show. So again, even within the own individuals' families, we are seeing more established culture within these pedigree players. And if you check, more often than not, it's like, well, his parents didn't play. Oh, but his uncle was in the league. Well, dang, what are we talking about? It's pedigree. So more often than not, you're going to have, these players have relatives who help them establish their work ethic, as they were coming up. So again, I'm leaning back on the culture, but taking it a step back to even the players coming up within their own families, and then part on how they identify where they're going to go, what program they're going to join, which program best suits their identity, their culture, coming out of, their family, coming out of high school, right? Because that's what's going to generate them money. Even if you're in a smaller market, if you're able to shine, people are going to find you and see you, and the money's going to be there. You can bring in new money where there may not have been. So sometimes players want to establish their own legacy. They'll go to a smaller program to have a proper established culture. They don't want to go to some dysfunctional place, but they'll go to a place with a proper culture where they can even establish a new legacy or renew the legacy to get better shine for themselves and bring in that NIL. Right?
Yeah, man. I think your culture argument is going to get lost in the sauce when this money keeps rolling, because this NIL is killing your culture talk, your legacy people. Your culture talk is taking a real hit, because NIL is killing that culture stuff, because now these newer players, they're one and dones. They go, like, now you got what's the Georgia quarterback that's in Miami now? What's his name?
Yeah, I feel you.
So yeah, I mean your culture talk is taking a big hit.
it's college free agency, and I've been clear about, hey guys, look, it's not the same anymore. You keep insisting that programs go after so many high school players, but everything's changed. College free agency has changed everything, the landscape. But again, you don't hear about like even Salter. He didn't go from Colorado to Liberty. He went from Liberty to Colorado. Why, Harry B?
For that one and done opportunity, he wants to get shine.
But he's not going to.
But that kills your culture talk.
But still, again, you got Colorado that was lost, and you got a newly established program that hasn't even hit 3 full years, but because of it's a newly established culture, which due to Coach Prime has a lot of exposure through the well-off, through social media, and Coach Prime's relationship in the media, right? All that exposure was able to educate, players on what's going on in Colorado much faster, without the wins. So again, Salter came from Liberty, upgrading to a better program with a better culture.
So you would say that Colorado already has a culture? What would you describe Colorado's culture to be?
Oh, all of that. The smart, fast, tough, disciplined with character, right?
No, that's a saying. That's not a culture.
That's the brand. That's the brand, the foundational brand of your culture. This is who we are. This is who we're looking for, and this. Are you a fit? Because this is what we're looking for. This is who we are.
Wild dog, I'm pushing back heavy. I'm pushing back heavy. This is 2 years. It takes 2 years to put in a culture like smart, tough, fast with character.
No,
are we saying that Colorado? That's what they're trying to achieve, or that's where they're trying to get to.
Yes.
But are you willing to say that Colorado has gotten to the place where we can say that that's Colorado's culture?
Absolutely not, because it takes any new program at least a minimum of 3 years to establish its culture. But again,
you can't use
because of the media exposure, that put Coach Prime and Colorado on the fast track. Because players don't have to scratch their head. They can point and click from their phone and see what's going on at Colorado. Where other programs, you have to be like, oh, let me talk to the coach, or what's going on, or what's their legacy, But with Colorado,
hold on, Wild Dog.
It's a little different.
Wild Dog, I gotta pull your card, Wild Dog. I gotta pull your card. You're trying to use this thing as saying that that's Colorado's culture, but you are a legacy football guy, and you're saying that kids go to these programs because of culture. Coach Prime is trying to establish a culture there, but they don't have it yet because you cannot pinpoint. I can say I can pinpoint something to say this is Colorado and this is Colorado football. Can you say that?
Harry B, careful now. Maybe we should switch to a different team. But we are the bandwagon buffs. Right?
So are you saying that we can point at something and say this is Colorado football?
Coach Prime's legacy is fully established and undeniable. He is a Hall of Famer.
Legacy, or are you talking about the Buffs?
He is a Hall of Famer.
No, I'm saying, are you talking about Coach Prime's legacy or the Buffs? I don't know what we're talking about.
Well, many will say right now, Colorado's culture is Coach Prime.
How?
So start with prime time. You can't negate Coach Prime's history. That comes with him. All of what he's come from, all of what he brings for him is why he was hired on.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where you were talking about as the culture of the team, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
A person's
legacy cannot be a culture of the team.
Huh?
A person's legacy cannot be the culture of the team.
Everybody who's part of the program is part of the culture and the legacy.
No.
Including Rick George, who
stop. Wild Dog, stop.
He worked for the Texas Rangers. I know Rick George. I work for Rick George.
Let's slow this train down.
Let me advise you. I work for Rick George. His legacy is established And that's how Rick George got the job at Colorado.
I ain't talking about none of that. I'm saying culture. You brought up this culture thing.
You're dancing around culture like it doesn't. I started off with relationships. Culture is people. People establish the culture and maintain the culture.
I don't know what we're talking about right now. I'm lost. Because when I think about football culture, I'm not thinking about, oh, Marshall Faulk used to be a good running back, so that's the Colorado culture. That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about when you say culture, when these guys get on that field, I'm not thinking about Coach Prime and what he did. I ain't thinking about that. I'm talking about what is consistently happening when you play Colorado. What is consistently happening when you play Georgia? What is consistently happening when you play Alabama? What is consistently happening when you play these teams? That's their culture, not they got a coach that used to play great. That's not a culture,
right? But then you sound just like Alabama fans now.
What do you mean?
Too much influence from Alabama fans, right? Because Alabama fans would be like, "What's the product on the field?" That's different. That's a total different conversation. That's a total different viewpoint that I'm coming from.
Maybe that's why we're missing each other, because you're thinking about something else.
And the same Alabama fans, right? Same Alabama fans. You mentioned Bear Bryant. They're like, who? Who? They don't know who Bear Bryant is. All they know is
Nick Saban.
Yeah, miss me with that. Why did he come to Alabama? Because Bear Bryant had already fully upgraded us and fully established Alabama as a powerhouse in this whole new era. Culture.
Okay. Is this the footage? This is from Wild Dog TV.
Hey, Harry B.
Dog? Yeah.
Harry B, remember, if nothing else, I'm going to be provocative. I'd be entertaining. So,
yeah, you lost me with that culture talk. I ain't gonna hold you. You lost me with that culture talk.
Talk about on the field performance. That's one thing, but that's why people kept pushing back on Colorado, because it's like, how are you winning when you're losing on the field? Well, when the whole region is making billions of dollars, if you winning in every kind of way, then okay, we don't want to redefine winning. You talking about on the field performance, but sports entertainment. Don't forget about the entertainment part. We were already winning 4 wins, but we were already winning. They were hating on the program because
just to push back a little bit. Ain't no player coming to a team because they selling more hot dogs at the local grocery store. Ain't nobody coming to nowhere because they're selling more Benzes. They ain't doing that. I'm just trying to let you know.
You brought up NIL, Harry B. I didn't. I brought up culture. You brought up NIL. So what's NIL?
No, you said culture. I'm just saying culture. If the culture has to do with,
you said nobody's coming if they making money, but what is NIL?
No, I'm saying if they're selling more hot dogs at the local grocery store, ain't nobody coming to a team because of that.
Nathan's is coming, and with the money. I'm not the one, Harry B. I'm not the one. You brought up NIL. I wasn't going to bring it up. You selling that many hot dogs, Nathan's is coming. Miss me with that. It's going to be kosher. Kosher hot dogs down there now. Kosher hot dogs from Nathan's.
I think this is from Mad Dog TV. Mad Dog, what up, my guy? He's not my guy, but still. What up, Mad Dog? Is this? I'm not sure if this has
been working all off season.
I'm not sure this is the footage that people are saying that Shador looks chubby or he looks fat. But this is what I got. I just saw this. I don't know if this is it.
Putting in the work that is needed for a quote unquote 5th round pick, but we know he's actually the best quarterback. Actually,
is that the one that they're talking about that he looks fat? Is this the one?
Hey, you gotta come back. Quick, yo, come back.
Those are high school players, right? I think these are the high school players they're talking about.
I mean, I've watched all of his recent film. He looks good. He looks better than he has.
But somebody dropped a comment earlier saying that Shador looks fat. He looks out of shape or something like that, and I'm not sure. Anyway,
someone always wants to say something that's provocative, and I can't blame him for saying something provocative, and that's what my kickback is that. Well, he's always carried some baby weight on him. He's never been cut. You know, him and Shiloh are brothers, but if they take their shirts off, right? You got
Shador's not a
defined.
He ain't got.
You got two different physiques.
Yeah.
You got Shiloh, who's a DB, versus Shador, who's a QB.
Right, you don't want to have too much muscle on you because those muscles can be restricting. So
and especially as a quarterback, even if you don't carry it on the outside, there's a certain amount of visceral, internal fat you want protecting your organs, right? Like even I don't want
Wild Dog don't turn into a doctor now.
Hey, I've been around sports teams way too long, and
I know.
But
if you look at Tom Brady was not cut up.
Give an example. They knocked Travis Hunter. Oh, he's too little. Well, Travis Hunter's cut 5% body fat, right? Or less than 5% body fat. They had something to say about Travis Hunter, right? But if he had been able to maintain a certain amount of visceral body fat, he might not have lacerated his liver when Blackburn gave him that cheap shot. That's where, because football is a combat sport, that's where it comes into play. So if you
just need more muscle.
So if you're a Shador Sanders,
bigger.
So if you're a Shador Sanders or Ben Roethlisberger, or if you're a Brett Favre, or if you're a certain type of QB, come on, miss me with he ain't cut like a running back or a DB. Miss me with that.
No, but look at all the quarterbacks. All the quarterbacks, they're not ripped. Quarterbacks are not ripped. I don't think you want to be ripped as a quarterback.
They might be a bit lean or whatever, but cut like that maybe after retirement.
I look at Eli Manning. I look at his brother Peyton Manning. I look at Tom Brady. I look at all those quarterbacks, and they look like they had dad bods. All of them look like they had dad bods. So I don't know.
Big Ben was like, "No, I need my pooch when them 300 panels come lay on me."
So if that's what they're talking about, if that was the footage, then all right. So let's wrap this up with this.
I watched Shador since he was a little kid play. He has always carried a little what we call.
No, but it's not even a Shador thing. It's a quarterback thing.
Yeah,
it's a quarterback thing.
Yeah, we can pretty much sum it up as that. It's just if you we don't expect people to be trainers, but if you played, you've been around trainers, right? Each position,
trainers are not going to make the quarterbacks start, bulking up and looking, and restricting their motion.
The trainers and the position coaches have different sets of standards based on your position.
Exactly.
Expected to do. It's a whole different ball game.
A quarterback's not going to look like a DB. That's a fact. But
just look at the two brothers, Shador versus Shiloh. Why would you expect Shador to look just like Shiloh? And why would you expect Shiloh to look just like Shador? No, two different players, but they're brothers.
I think we beat that up a little too hard. But let's let's get to with the idea of money. I think we came to a conclusion that money can't buy you. Like money alone cannot buy you a chip, right? If we get to that conclusion, right? But we also understand that you need money to be able to afford the other elements or the other ingredients to get to this chip.
Yeah.
And this final topic that I want to talk about, is Coach Prime ever going to win at Colorado if he's missing that big chunk of the ingredient? So let's talk a little bit about, because we got to get up out of here. We're supposed to end at 8, but that ain't going to happen ever.
Or maybe how competitive does Coach Prime need to be on that NIL side? And I think he was teasing. Who was he teasing? Texas Tech. He was teasing Texas Tech about in the Big 12 press conference. He was teasing Texas Tech about give us some of that money.
So is there a path, or even can we even entertain the idea of Coach Prime ever winning a natty with Colorado? And if so, tell me how.
The money's there. It slipped out. It slipped out inadvertently.
The money is in Colorado?
Listen to me. The money's there. Let me finish real quick
Okay.
because it slipped out. All this stuff about Shador slipping in the draft, right, and him losing all this money in his contract if he had rent round 1 or round 2 at the least, right? But then it slipped out inadvertently that he had already made $24 million in the first quarter. That's for being a QB at Colorado. $24 million in the first quarter, Harry. So
tell me how the money's there. I want to know.
If you have the right, if you bring in everything, if you're bringing this equity contract people are talking about, if you're not even on the field and Shador's not even on the field, not even a first round draft pick, he's one of the top in jersey sales. He's not even established as QB1, and he's the most alluring and popular Cleveland Brown. This is the prime time effect. This is the equity contract. Everything else outside of the on the field performance.
Wait, are you saying that Shador was the cash cow for Colorado football?
That's not how NIL works. But that's why Shador and Travis gave their gravy back into the program. So, in answering your question, yes, because of the culture of who Shador and Travis was, I'm good. Let me give back to my program because this is what we do at Colorado. So a lot of their NIL, they just turned it right over to the program to benefit other players to give them money. So even if you're not a player that's drawing the money at Colorado, right, the established culture, the established history is that your top players give their gravy over back into the team, back into helping the program. This is the established culture at Colorado.
But Shador only got $4 million from Cleveland. So how in the world did they got money? Like how is Colorado got money? You're trying to make an argument to say that Coach Prime can win a natty and he has the biggest ingredient, which is the money. And you're saying Shador is the
But there's teams with more money. So it's about how competitive. There's players that are going to draw more money. There's organizations, programs that are going to draw more money. So how competitive can Coach Prime be to put him in the play for a natty? Because again, you can have all the money in the world and still lose by an inch. This is football. This is American football. You can have enough money just to be competitive enough and win by an inch. But you still have to be.
I'm not one of the believers that Coach Prime got the biggest ingredient, which is the money. I said that's cap. There's no way you're saying that Shador Sanders is the leading NIL broker for Colorado football to be able to be competitive with Ohio State and Texas Tech and Texas themselves and all these big names. Shador? No. Come on, Wild Dog. What are you talking about?
No, the numbers don't lie. Travis Hunter's number don't lie. What they did was what they did.
That's their money. They haven't established any type of linkage to their contract to Colorado getting money. That's their money.
It's on the record. They gave it back to the program to benefit other players.
To give what back?
Money. NIL money. It's a known fact, Harry B. I'm not making up stuff.
That's not enough. What are you talking about?
But again, I'm doubling down on the culture, right? And when it comes to the money, you have to be competitive enough. Culture is something that is established. And with history and with legacy. This is what the top NIL, Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter has done. It's a fact. It's what they've done. Now, will other players do it? There's no guarantee. But when you establish a culture, this is what I'm talking about. This is what feeds into the culture and helps build it. In other programs, they'd be like, no, don't do that. That's your money. Or no, we don't need your money. We have plenty of money over here. But at Colorado and other programs, you just need to be competitive enough. You don't have to match the money to win a natty.
Fine.
That's what I'm saying.
You're saying that Coach Prime is going to
have to match the money. Otherwise, Indiana would have won it last year. Otherwise, Texas Tech would be the onset favorite this year, but they're not.
Wait a minute, my wild dog. You're throwing me for a loop right now because I'm trying to understand. You're saying that Coach Prime has a viable chance to win a natty because of Shador's pockets?
Are we talking about 2025, Harry B, or are we talking about in general as far as the program?
I'm talking about as far as the program being competitive. Is Coach Prime ever going to win a natty at Colorado? And your train of thought is that yes, because of Shador and Travis Hunter's culture that they've built to give back their NIL money?
The market, listen to me. Okay, let me be more specific than Harry B. Let me go this way then.
Yeah,
right?
You losing me.
Because what Shador, let me go this way then. What Shador and Travis Hunter showed us is that the market capital in Boulder and Colorado is there. Because how do they make their money? So the market capital in Boulder, in Colorado, is there.
No, that's not. No, it didn't. It didn't show you that.
When they won one game, where was the money? There was no money.
No. Let's clear something up in the air. Let's clear something up.
Coach Prime comes.
Stardom, star power got them that NIL.
Shador Sanders comes. Then you get, this is what our market capital is.
No, hold up. Time out, Waldo. Time out. Travis Hunter, star power that was built from Jackson State. Shador Sanders.
From high school. 5-star.
No.
Some consider him number one out of high school.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying when he got to college and he transferred to Colorado and then he was able to translate his talent, that's when the NIL started to kick in. So I'm just saying, if we're looking at the NIL money, we go from Jackson State to Colorado and then he wins the Heisman Trophy. So their star power gets them that NIL. But we're not saying that the money's in Boulder because of that, because after they left, half of the fan base is gone already.
Yeah, but then you have the collective. So with Coach Prime coming and the star power, you get money coming in through the collective.
Yeah, but not to compete with the Ohio State or Texas Tech. No.
And then my only caveat is that they don't have to match dollar for dollar, Harry B. It's American football. You can't buy a chip. That's my foundation. So I'm going to be at odds with anybody that believes you can buy a chip.
Well, I mean,
someone that's
one of the biggest ingredients is the money.
But how competitive do you need to be? That's the question then. How competitive do you need to be?
Very competitive. You need to be up there. You got to be up there when it comes to the money.
Up where? What does that mean?
That means that if Ohio State is spending $20 million, you got to have $20 million.
No, I disagree.
You need money to be able to attract the higher talent.
I understand.
That's just one part of the equation, though. I'm not saying that's the entire thing.
You gave $20 million. I say you don't have to match $20 million to be competitive.
How? How do you become competitive?
I would say you're highly competitive if you got 3/4 of that. You're highly competitive if you got $15 million.
How are you? What element are you looking at? If
how many people on the roster, Harry B?
What do you mean?
How many people on the roster, Harry B?
About $1 something.
It's only one roster, only one football. The money can only take you so far. If you got $1 billion,
that's not how you look at it. You're not looking at just bodies, right? It's not about hot bodies. It's about hot players.
Harry B, it's American football. If you got $1 billion to spend, you're not going to have every star athlete on your team.
That's not the point.
They're not all coming. That is the point, because other teams are going to be able to be competitive. Because other teams are going to have 4 and 5 stars be able to compete with you, even though they can't match your $1 billion income, your $1 billion salary.
So, are you saying that Colorado can be competitive with other teams? How though? By recruiting? What is the thing that you're saying is?
You gave an example, $20 million. I'm saying any team in to give an example of 20 million to spend in 2025, I'm saying if you have at least 15 million, you're highly competitive when it comes to the money.
But what the money alone is not what's making you competitive. It's what you're doing with the money that's making you competitive. So what
I
are you saying?
understand. I agree.
So how you being outspent and you're staying competitive? What is your secret sauce to spending less and staying competitive with the 20 million guy? What are you doing?
Because it's a simple fact, the money can only take you so far, Harry B.
No. I'm not talking about the philosophy. I'm saying what exactly are you doing to keep you competitive with the $20 million guy, with the guy that's spending 20 million and buying high ticket players? What are you doing? What's your secret sauce?
You doing the same thing they doing.
What? If they go out and spend $10 million on a quarterback, and you can't afford the $10 million quarterback because that is your entire budget, then how are you staying competitive? You're getting a group of 5 quarterback.
How many quarterbacks on the field? And then he's only on the field half the time.
What do you mean?
It's American football, Harry B.
So hold up.
It's American football, Harry B.
Hold on. Are you saying that Nico Iamaleava is the same as Caden Salter?
If you spend $5 million on a quarterback, he's competitive. You're being competitive.
Are you talking in general terms, or what are we talking about?
I'm
talking about matching energy to energy.
Me, Harry B.
Is EM and Salter the same?
If you listen to me, Harry B. If you spend $10 million on a quarterback, good for you. If I spend $5 million on a quarterback, I'm competitive.
You can't afford to do that.
Listen, let me finish.
You're not going to give $5 to a quarterback.
Let me finish. If you're spending $500,000 on a quarterback,
right?
You're out of the. You out. You nowhere to be found.
Waldo, slow the screen down. Waldo, if you got $15 million, you're not giving $5 to a quarterback, and you know that. Come on, stop playing with me. You're not giving $5 to a QB.
Well, if you got $20 million, you're not giving $10 to a quarterback.
Well, we know we have an example.
This is what we're talking about. The money can only take you so far.
No, Waldo, we do have an example of a $10 million quarterback. We do have that example.
And I'm giving an example. A lot of the quarterbacks are going in for $5 million are going to be as equally competitive and effective as a $10 million.
No, but based on your example, if you got 15 and they got 20, you're not giving $5 to a QB. You can't afford to do that. You only got 10 left. If you give $5 to a QB, and then your locker room is gonna be mass split. This guy got a quarter of our whole entire budget, and he's just a quarterback.
Okay,
if I was in that locker room, I'll burn the whole thing down.
Okay, Gary B, you said you gave the example of 20 million, and I gave the example of being highly competitive. It's 15 million, and now you're saying 10 million because you can't afford a $10 million quarterback if all you got is 10 million. I'm like, well, then that program with $10 million to spend, right, may very well spend $5 million on their quarterback. They definitely will spend $2 million on their quarterback. Now, are they going to be as highly competitive? No.
I don't know that Caden Salter is the.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to follow you because you moving the goalposts on me, bro. I'm just trying my best to follow you. You melted my ice packs.
Yo, so answer the question.
Hey, Cam Ward was the number 1 draft pick. Where's his Heisman Trophy? Where's his natty? Come on, Harry B. It's American football, baby.
Well, I mean, I don't know the equivalency. I don't know what you just
said. It's not
basketball.
Basketball, you got 10 players on the court. One player can have a chance to be highly more effective on the game. Football, you got 22 players on the field. One player can have an impact, but it's not the same, Harry B. It's American football.
Yeah, but
you can have the best quarterback in the world.
It's not about warm bodies, and you know that. Stop playing with me.
Harry B, you can have the best.
It's not about warm bodies.
Harry B, it's American football. You can have the best quarterback ever and still lose by an inch. And they have lost.
I know that. I know what you're saying, but the argument and the pushback that I have is that if you if one of your guys go down, right, and your DEPTH, as we always say on this channel, if your DEPTH is lacking, you're gonna get run up out of the building. So you got a bunch of warm bodies, and you say we're competitive.
Harry B, you forget who you're talking to here.
What you mean? I know who I'm talking to.
Bulls fan since 1989.
You're laying it all out. But
I done been, dude. Come on.
Don't do that thing where you start dropping.
That one game season, none of y'all was watching. I was watching, and over here holding my side, shaking my head like, man, come on, what we gonna do here? How do we?
Oh no, you're doing that thing.
Win the Big 12 to fall, and what's going on with it? And then I'm like, Lord, help me. It is what it is. And okay, at least our guys are being competitive. We have a couple of highlights. Okay, man. Let me
if you don't have depth,
let me put my tourniquets on. Don't forget who you're talking to, man. And
listen. Let me do that thing where you said Coach Prime.
I'm over here.
You're doing that thing where you said Coach Prime, his legacy was the culture in Colorado. Now you're saying because you are old head in college football.
I've lived it.
For some reason that don't matter.
I've lived the worst of it. I've been there. Don't do me like that.
What does that have to do with a depth chart? What does that have to do with the next man up on the chart? That you know football? Like, what does that mean?
When you have no depth, Harry B. When the whole team is 1 and 2 stars, Harry B. What you talking about? When you have no money. When you have no under table money to pay nobody. I've seen it all, been there. And not just laughing at some other team. My team, our team, I was there.
And
so what are we talking about? You know, somebody goes down, your $10 million quarterback goes down, you screwed.
No, but that's the point that I'm making. I'm saying if you got the Lucchini, you got the Dinero.
You say you can lose with your $10 million quarterback. It don't guarantee nothing.
I know that. But I'm saying
that your $10 million quarterback probably gonna have more NIL than somebody else.
The idea is that when you
draw more boosters money.
The idea is that when you got the money and you go spend it, that means that your depth chart, your 2 and your 3s are going to be ready to play, just like your 2 and the 3s are probably better than the next guy's team that don't have no money, because all they got is a bunch of group of 5 players and they're trying to play up. But you're getting you on your team. You got players that can start on any team that are number 2s and 3s, and they're waiting to just kill.
But
right?
but Harry B, again, another factor is the free agency, right? We talked about those 4 stars aren't going to sit back there, Harry B. They're not sitting back there, Harry B. They're not sitting waiting to play, Harry B. They're not doing
the point we're making. The free agency takes money. If you got the bank, you can be out there getting the best free agents.
Even for less money, I'm going to take the first spot. I'm not going to sit back here with the money to be on your depth chart. They're not doing that, Harry B. They're not doing it. I'm going to take your money this year, but I'm leaving next year if I'm not on the field. This is what they're doing, Harry B.
But at that point, I already got my natty, so go do what you got to do and not just
they take the bag and run. They're not doing that. We've seen that already. That 4 or 5 stars are not sitting behind on the depth chart.
So okay,
I hear you, but they're not doing that.
We're overtime. So let me hear your clear answer. We're overtime. We're supposed to close out at 8. Now we're 43 minutes over. We're supposed to close out at 8:30. Because like I said, whenever we do TLP, we always
you keep pushing back. I'm just saying
we don't know how to do a short show. But anyway, let me get a clear answer for you. We can wrap this up. Are you saying that Coach Prime? I mean, the next time I think I'll have to talk about the equity, the prime equity contract move. We'll talk about that on the next show, maybe sometime later. So, are you saying that Coach Prime, based on all the arguments you're making, Coach Prime is going to win a natty in Colorado?
Yes, he will. He will win he stays in Colorado. He will win a natty. Oh, let me put it this way. Let me not break my own rule. He will be in the national championship. Let me not break my own personal rule. I don't want to get into it now, but he will be in the national championship.
If he stays, your one caveat is if he stays in Colorado, he will be.
If he restarts somewhere else, that throws a whole wrench in, and that's a whole different dynamic. That worked for Nick Saban, right? But He didn't have to leave. Nick Saban didn't have to go anywhere. Nick Saban could have stayed at LSU and still been Nick Saban. So, you know.
So Prime stays in Colorado, he will be in the national championship. And you're saying you're not ready to commit to him winning it, but he will beat it.
I never do that. That's one of my rules. It's like, no, the game is so competitive. There's so much nuance, especially American football. Like I was saying, you could win by an inch or lose by an inch. But getting to a national championship is something any program can definitely build up and get to and do.
And you think that Colorado's on the right track to do that?
Colorado has actually won a natty, right? So the program is having a history of actually having won one, gives us a higher probability, and it's not smoke and mirrors and all that nonsense. With Coach Prime being there, they will make a national.
So you're leaning on the 1989, 1990 Orange Bowl natty.
You have legacy,
on that and saying Coach Prime is going to ride that wave.
Hey, you got legacy OG football programs that have never won one. Come on, Harry B. Who you talking to?
No, I ain't talking about. See,
let me do my closing remarks so you can get out of here because I don't know if the chat answered my question. All right, let me do my closing remarks now.
Okay.
So we talking about
wait.
who can win a chip, who can not win a chip, you can buy a chip, and all this stuff. So the program with the most national championships is with 18. It's Yale. Yes, Ivy League Yale has 18.
I thought it was Harvard.
18 national championships. Their last championship was 1927. What you don't know about football is everything. And when Wild Dog sounds crazy, this is why he sounds crazy. Because where is Yale now? Does he even have a football program anymore? Okay? Who you talking to? Who you messing with? This is why I sound crazy sometimes. Because I know my history. I watch black and white film.
Yo, Wild Dog, if you don't stop playing with me today.
Alabama has 13. Alabama's way behind. And he's like, oh, yeah, why are you talking about Yale? Because Alabama has 13. They still six behind.
Well, no, you said their last championship was 1920.
They still 6 national championships behind Yale. That's embarrassing. So all you Alabama fans miss me with this because I know the history.
Oh no, who was watching football in 1920?
Nothing yet. You don't even have the most national championships. Yale still got you beat, and it's been since 1927. Shut it down. Go sit down somewhere.
What helmets were they using in that team?
That's embarrassing for the SEC in Alabama.
Oh my God.
It's facts.
What conference was Yale in 1923?
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hey, college football was established in 1869.
Oh my
Bandwagon buffs. Learn something. Wild Dog is wild, but I'm crazy. I speak the truth and I speak the truth.
You mean when they had those leather helmets?
Yes. Princeton versus Rutgers.
Why no, let's get out of here because the people gonna call us both crazy.
1869.
Oh God.
So it's not embarrassing for Yale's last national championship to have been in 1927. It's embarrassing for the SEC and Alabama and all these programs that huff and puff about how bad they are. You ain't done nothing. Ohio State has 9. Ohio State won last year. Oh, Buckeyes, we're the biggest fan base. We got all this money. You got 9 chips. Shut up. Go sit down somewhere. Yale got you beat. Yale got twice as many as you. Hey, salute, Harry B. Hey, this is why they call me Wild Dog.
You earned your name tonight. Yo, man. I love you, Wild Dog.
Go have this information. Be armed with this information. They need to go sit down and shut up. They ain't done nothing. Ain't none of them done nothing. They want to give us a hard time.
Wild Dog.
We're talking about Coach Prime with a natty.
I think we're talking about modern days. We're not talking about.
Hey, it's all in errors. It's all in errors, and that's what I'm talking about. The errors. The SEC errors is coming to an end. The SEC era is coming to an end. It's all in eras. Don't shame Yale for having 18. They were the big dogs in their era.
All right. Okay, Waldo. Let's end
Right?
it.
It's facts. This is all facts. You can verify. Go Google it.
Remember the name.
Ohio State needs
Waldo,
9 more chips. But Ohio State is in the Big Ten.
Waldo, remember the name. Yale.
18, baby.
Let's
18.
get Waldo, let's get up out of here, man. I gotta
Salute, Harry B. Appreciate you, brother.
Hey, thanks for coming on and thanks for the history.
Blessings, bandwagon buffs.
Yo, I'm not gonna sleep well tonight.
Hey, you gotta have a sense of humor, man. But hey, you gotta be real with it too.
I know. Hey, man, thanks for coming on the show, man. I appreciate you, man. Always bringing the pain, always bringing the
Blessings,
noise.
everyone. Blessings, Harry B. Blessings, bandwagon buffs.
All right, everyone. This was a pop-up, you know what I'm saying, a hot topic show. I don't think we came to a conclusion that money can buy a natty. So y'all have a great night, man. I'll see y'all. I'm going to pop up on y'all again. And, you know, we'll have another hot topic that we talk about here on TLP Live. You know my name. I'm Harry B. The B means billion. And I'm out. God bless. Peace.